Hi friends, it's Terry Stewart, Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, here with another alternate for the October 2022 Paper Pumpkin Kit, the HoHoHo kit, and I have done some alternate cards just using the stamp set, cardstock I had on hand, and inks. And I'm really excited to show you my first creation. So I will be turning the camera. If you get ill, look away, because you know it's moving. And as always, you'll see my ceiling, my big light, my big head. You know how it goes. All right, so there's the paper pumpkin kit. Let me pull this down a little bit. There you go. So I think you can see the kit. Now let me see if I can see myself and everybody's joining me. And if you have any questions or you're here with me, just give me a shout out. I love to share my paper pumpkin experience with everybody. So this is the paper pumpkin I got in October. It is October 22. It's the HoHoHo kit. I did an unboxing last week where I made a card, this card, and that's directly from the kit. There's a stamp set, and that's what I'm using today, so I'm going to pull that out. Now there is, for November, a kit that coordinates with the HoHoHo. It makes tags, gift tags. And on the back of this, you can add on sacks, and these are food safe, so if you want to give some kind of homemade treat or some candy or something, these are food safe, and you can order them if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, and your tags could fit on those. So this is the October kit. I already went through that. HoHoHo. It makes 9 cards. 3 each of 3 different designs, and they're super cute. I mean, look at that Santa. I just love this. I've had so much fun playing with this kit. So, enough of the kit. You know you can subscribe, and I will have a link on my blog. Can you see my blog? Yeah. stampinghair.blogspot.com, where you can sign up and come under my, so that I would get credit for your order, your subscription. So check out that blog. If you're watching on YouTube, the link is below, so make sure you look at the description below. So here's the stamp set. So let me show you the card that I am stamping today using the stamp set. So here it is. I saw this little snowflake in the stamp set, and I just thought it was so darn cute that I decided that I was going to make a snowflake card. So I started with a Balmy Blue base. I added a layer of white cardstock, a piece of, this is Orchid Oasis, an in color 2022 to 2024 in color, DSP. I added some of that frayed ribbon that I love so much. This wonderful, can you see, it's called Wonderful Snowflake, and it's iridescent. I love it. And then I added some iridescent rhinestones. So this is a super easy and quick festive card. So let me bring in my pieces that I've used. I already told you I have a Balmy Blue card base. I scored it. Now I'm going to I crisped up that score line. The measurements for this card is on my blog, link below. Make sure you like and subscribe my YouTube channel too, so I can bring you more fun stamping projects. Here's my piece of DSP and Orchid Oasis. I have a scrap paper that I'm going to stamp my sentiments on, the Merry and the Christmas. And then I have a piece of white cards, actually 2 pieces. One's for the front and one is for the inside. So let's get stamping. I'm going to start with this little tiny, well, I guess it's small. I wouldn't say super tiny. But I'm going to stamp an Orchid Oasis. I just feel like that was like a snowflakey color to me. I'll bring in my scrap paper because you guys know I like to keep my workspace pristine, just a little quirk of mine. So I'll be using Orchid Oasis, and this isn't in color, so we only have it. It came this year, so next year we have it for 2 years. So I'm going to stamp I'm going to stamp again, and then I'm going to stamp a third time. And that's what I'm going to do each time. So stamp, stamp, and then stamp a third time. And that makes it a very light, that third image, but I like it. That, and then one more. Okay, so there's a lot of snowflakes going on here. Okay, do it. I think we need some darker ones down here, right? What do you think? Maybe a light one over here. And one more. Okay, one more. We'll do it. There, there, and there. All right, I think that is all the snowflakes. Now I'm going to bring in my scrap paper, or my, there it is. I'll set this aside, and I'm going to stamp this Christmas. So that's a stamp from the paper pumpkin Ho Ho Ho. And I'm going to just stamp it right here on the edge, and then I'm going to fussy cut it out. So I'm going to give it a minute for that, or seconds actually, for the ink to transfer. Look how crisp that is. Don't you just love that? Yeah, I do. And so that's all the balmy, well actually, let me do a little bit on this inside. Now my sample, I didn't put an inside in, but I'm going to put a white inside in the one I'm making today. So I'm just going to put a couple snowflakes on the inside, because I can. Alright, and that is all the Orchid Oasis. Now I'm going to bring in my Balmy Blue. So I was trying to I used the Balmy Blue for the base, and I wanted to bring some of that ink color in to the front. So I'm gonna stamp my Mary on this scrap paper. I can look through there and I can see that I have a hair or something on my stamp, because there was a spot that was missing ink. So let me get that here, remove that hair. It's probably a dog hair. You guys know I have a dog, and he does shed. Okay, so there is my Mary, and that is all the stamping for this card. And now I'm going to fussy cut these pieces. So I'm just going to cut right along the edge of where this ink is on this. I'm using these paper snips, and they're very sharp, so it's very easy to cut this out. I feel almost like they're a I know this is crazy, a medical device. They're so sharp. You can cut yourself. You don't want to cut yourself, because this would definitely take off some skin. And that's done, and then we can fussy cut this. And I'm just going to loosely go around it, and you know, I hold with my left, steering. I kind of keep my scissors and going in the same direction, and just use my left hand to be the steering mechanism for this. And I'll come kind of close in here. And the thing is, I don't want any sharp lines. I just want some rounded edges. That's great. And now I'm going to put some dimensionals behind these. And I have my big dimensionals for my the words. Now this is kind of narrow, so I'm going to, let's see if I can snip some of this edges. So you can use all the way to the edge of your dimensional pack. And so I have these, so you won't have to waste any of it. You can use all of it, but you will have to use your scissors to get to those, to cut those small pieces. And if you don't like these, you can always use the mini dimensionals, which I just don't have any at hand right now. And that will go right there. So there's all my dimensionals, because I cannot make a card without dimensionals. I love dimensionals. All right, and now we can start assembling. So this is my card front. I'm gonna put that there. I'm gonna lay adhere this piece of DSP. And I like these dots. It kind of reminded me of like mini snowflakes falling from the sky. I don't know if you can tell, but there is some lighter and darker ones, just like the snowflakes I've put here. And then I have this 3/4 inch frayed white ribbon, and I'm going to put that right next to the DSP. So let's get that all glued down. So I'm going to use my liquid glue, my Tombow. And this will, it's very easy to use, and it's forgiving if you get it down cockeyed. With the liquid glue, you have a few seconds to remove it. So this is my DSP. It's actually two-sided, but both sides are the Orchid Oasis. But I'm like those little circles. Like I said, it reminds me of little mini snowflakes, and that will lay right on top of my white layer. And then for to adhere the ribbon, I'm going to use my tear and tape, and I'm going to put a strip of it right next to the DSP all the way down, and then just break it off like that. And I like to burnish it because it makes it easier to pull up the cover with my take your pick tool. Now here's a little tip. I'm going to cut this ribbon, but it's frayed, and it's called frayed ribbon, and it frays very easily. So I'm going to cut it, and then I'm going to kind of singe the edges with one of those fire starter lighters. So, oh my gosh, it was just here. Oh, here it is. Hopefully a little light on camera. It was running out of fuel earlier, so let's see. So I'm going to light this, maybe. Oh, it doesn't want to light. But anyway, you get the idea. Oh, there it goes. And just kind of quickly melt the edges. Now see, this is already fraying, so I'm just going to snip that off. Snip it off so it doesn't somehow burn off. All right, so here we go. Just like that. So that's all you need to kind of seal those edges so they won't fray anymore, because it is frayed ribbon. So that's a little tip for you. We'll remove this cover, and then I'm going to just lay my ribbon right along that seam. Let's see if I can get that over. There we go. Just evening, putting it right next to the seam. And there my ribbon is now attached. And you can see this wonderful ribbon, this wonderful snowflakes. So they returned, these were from last year, and they're back in the mini catalog, and I love them. I was so happy to see them back. So you get 24 of these snowflakes, and they're very iridescent. Can you see how shiny they are? Now I'm going to kind of dry fit this. I want the snowflake to come over on top of the DSP. My Mary is going to go there, and then the Christmas is going to go right below it. So to adhere it, I'm going to be using mini glue dots right in the center on the back. So I can bring my picture tool, pick up one of those mini glue dots. I'll put it right here in the center on the back side, and then kind of in the middle, maybe a smidge upwards, so it's a little more towards the top than the bottom. And I put this dimensional too far over on the left. I take it up and move it more to the middle because this ribbon is raised. I don't need as much dimension on the left side. I will put some glue, a little blob of glue, and that will tack it down to the snowflake. So I'm going to put that M right over that center of the snowflake, like that. And then we can remove the dimensionals from this little Christmas. And it's so darn cute. I just love it. Maybe because it's tiny. I don't know. How small that is. Almost looks like you embossed it in white. But it's the white cardstock that's showing through. And I want to put this evenly underneath that Mary. So just touching the... There we go. Gorgeous. I put the inside in, and I couldn't decide on what kind of sentiment I wanted to put inside, so I might just write a personal note to whoever I send this Christmas card, or later on I might add a greeting from a set that I have on hand. Now the last little bit are these iridescent rhinestones, and they are so sparkly. It's been one of my favorite go-to items. And there's three different sizes. There's the small, medium, and large. And I'm going to use these medium ones, and I'm going to plop these, let's see, right in the center of my snowflakes. And I'm going to use 3 of them since I have 3 full snowflakes on the front. And that is my card. Don't you just love it? I love it. It looks so festive, doesn't it? And sparkly. So I wanted to share with you where I found these items. So from the mini catalog on page 45, this is where you can find those wonderful snowflakes that came back from last year. 24 of them. So on page 45, you can get the snowflakes. And then the rest of the items came from the annual catalog. And on page 122 and 123. So the card base is Balmy Blue. Here's the cardstock and the ink pad, and then the in colors are Orchid Oasis, and we use the ink pad on page 122, and white cardstock is down here at the bottom of page 123 also. And then so that's our cardstock, our DSP, the in colors on page 135 at the top. Here's the Orchid Oasis and that polka dotted pattern I used. And then on page 142, this is where you're going to find those iridescent rhinestones right here in the center of the page. And oh, they're so sparkly. I love them. One of the most fun things to use when you're making Christmas cards. And the white frayed ribbon on 146, page 146, here it is. And it's so soft. It's just beautiful. But it does fray a little bit, but I showed you how you can remedy that. So here you go, 2 cards. Remember to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow and like me on my Facebook so you can get notified when I go live. I hope you enjoyed this. I have several other cards using this paper pumpkin kit. It's been I'm having so much fun with it. I can't wait to share it. So keep looking out. There will be more cards coming. And until next time, remember, stamping is fun. Bye.